2.17 I think the river is at the minute over. Good water temperature though. Only thing I have to persevere with is this rain, but due to stop in an hour. River's still rising though. Hopefully trick something into taking a bait now. Go with some kebab up baits with the garlic sauce on them. It absolutely stinks. It's perfect for this style of floodwater fishing. Just fishing into the edge of a little slack. Got a tree above me to filter out the debris that's coming downstream, which will allow me to present my bait for a bit longer. So yeah, other than the rain, it's looking pretty good. I'd rather fish it when it's filing down, but I haven't really got that option. So, persevered with the rain, fishing into a little slack down the bush to filter out the debris, and yeah, rod's absolutely hammered round. Got a lovely, reasonable sized barbel. Certainly worth the effort, and certainly worth recasting every now and again. Due to the leaves, like this is an old friend. This is missing an eye. It's the second time I've had him in a couple of weeks. But you know me, he's with a few bigger fish. I don't know if you can see it there. You see his eye on that side. It is not existent. But yeah, good sign for things to come. So fingers crossed we'll have a couple more. Happy days. Got another fish on my inside line. And this one's a kipper. If he calms down a minute, because he's been rested for a while. So forgive me if I have any mishaps with the handler. But yeah, woo-hoo-hoo. Happy days. I am a happy boy. Definitely. We were sitting out in our rain earlier on. You would have been forgiven for staying in bed this morning, but when a fish like that shows up, you know, that's what we go fishing for at the end of the day. He's a lovely little fish. He's got to be a double. I'm going to rest him up now. I'll give him a good 5-10 minutes. Get a sling ready, get the scales out, and yeah, we'll stick a number on this fantastic fish. It's a victim of the FG1s, so yeah, it's going really well with the bait at the moment. Literally not using anything else other than my own baits and some Albert pellets from a local tacker feed shop, but they are certainly doing a business, and I am more than happy. It means more to catch them on your own baits that you've made in the shed, and that is an absolute unit. Yeah, hopefully you go 11 plus, but you know, you never know. Kipper days. That is a kipper. Turned into a right session, if I'm honest. Absolutely buzzing. Just had another double. This one's bigger again. It's bigger than the last one was. But he's had a rest, so forgive me if he's a bit lively. But yeah, this one, £10, 14 ounces. The last one ended up going £10.5. So I've had, well, in consecutive casts, I've had a brace of white doubles, £10.14, which, if you're not familiar with the river, then that's good going, to say the least. But yeah, he's a lovely fish in absolutely brilliant condition. You can see he's like a lump of lead. But yeah, brilliant fight, absolutely brilliant. Got over 2.2 meters on at the moment, and yeah, that thing turned broadside into the flow, shot off downstream, bent rod, pent for compression. Glad I got my 2-pounders with me today, not the 1.5 or the 1.75, otherwise I wouldn't have stopped it. But yeah, brilliant fish again, absolute tank of a barrel on my FG1s again, which again is it's proof of the pudding. Stuff works, and to catch some stuff that you've made yourself is just even more of a bonus. But yeah, we rest him up, slipping back. Hopefully have another couple now. If I have another double, I'll be a hat trick, and I'll be more than happy. I'm more than happy already with the brace of doubles. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, brilliant stuff. So I thought I'd just take a couple of minutes to try and show you, if I can, with my camera. The rig I use, simple, super duper simple. Just incorporating a pellet band into my hair, and that's it. The only thing I'm doing different than what I normally do is I leave a little bit more separation now this time of year from the upbait to the hook, just to try and avoid those chub. So obviously I'm trying to catch the bigger barbel out here, so I don't want to be pestered by chub. So that's the reason I've got a little bit of extra distance here. Some people might say that's a bit short, but in my eyes that's long enough to do the job. I don't like a long hair, if I'm honest. What I do find is by shortening that distance between the hook bait to the hook, you actually produces more runs, if I'm honest. But like I said, this time of year now, when I'm specifically targeting the bigger barb, I will put a little bit of distance in between it. I don't know if you can see that. It's probably about 2 centimeters, maybe 1.5 centimeters, but it's enough that when the chub come over and mouth that bait, they're not hooking themselves. They'll rattle, the rod tip will move, don't get me wrong, but you're not getting suicidal chub every chuck. Like, that's the only reason for it. Hook length material is just some Corum reel line, super supple, super strong, abrasion resistant, and it's been doing a job. Nothing complicated, nothing expensive, just simple things, and just going to town with a feeder, using a feeder to bait up. Opted for a feeder over a bait dropper today purely because the river's got 2.1 on it, and when the river's got that much height on it, dropping that bait dropper, it's got massive surface area, just gets taken. I want my bait tight in one place. I don't want it spread along the river, so I'm just using a heavy Preston 5-ounce feeder as literally as my bait dropper. But yeah, as far as rigs goes, nothing complicated. I can't get my favourite pattern is a Corum Power in a size 10 or a size 8, but I can't get them at the minute, so I'm going to use something else. But my normal choice would be a Corum Power in an 8. Sometimes if it's absolutely smashing through and I want to make sure that I'm not going to bend the hooks out and lose fish unnecessarily, then I'll probably go up to a 6. But obviously I'll pace wrap my hook baits in that circumstance, just so it doesn't make the hook look so obvious. But normally summertime I'll be fishing 10mm hook baits, and I'll be using size 10s. And the same goes again. Then I don't change to a fluorocarbon. I just drop the poundage of the mono that I'm using as a hook length to about 8. It's got a nice thin diameter. I'm fishing off spooking, because trying to create a situation with the barbel coming in numbers. I'm just picking 1 or 2 off at a time. I'm doing that by in the summer putting a lot of bait in at the start, and then topping up after every time I've had a fish. And in the winter, I just like especially when it's up and coloured, I like to deposit a good bit of bait in the edge, a nice little slack in a crease, preferably behind the bush, so the bushes help you by filtering out the debris, which enables you to keep your hook bait in place for longer, because it's not getting wiped out by leaves coming past and building up on the line to the tension overrides the feeder, and the feeder gets dislodged and you're not fishing where you need to be fishing. But yeah, simple stuff, nothing overcomplicated. One of the best attributes and benefits to your angling is going to be the river Y level recorder. If you type into Google river Y level Monmouth, it'll come up and you'll have a section on there where it depicts some details of different locations up and down the river. By going back and looking, say obviously I'm fishing around Ross now at the moment, so I can look above me towards Hereford, up towards Hay. I can see what the river's doing the day before, and I know it's going to take about 24 hours to get down from Hereford down to here. So if I know I'm looking upstream, the river's dropping fast, I know I can come back tomorrow, I can fish here, and the circumstances are probably going to be a bit better where the river's fining down, and use that river level recorder to your advantage. because it's there for everyone to use. It doesn't take too long to familiarise yourself with it, and as soon as you understand how to read that level recorder and how the river reacts further up and how it drops down, and how then you can go and find out exactly what level you're going to be walking into and what you're up against before you arrive, rather than coming here and being undergunned because you haven't checked the levels and it's got 2 meters on it and 4 ounces is not going to be enough to hold you out in the middle, or so I say in the edge. So yeah, just by checking that, it gives yourself a massive advantage. But yeah, you have to excuse me glancing because my rod is going. Well, these are the FG ones, full of fish meal, milk proteins, a couple of other little special ingredients. I was lucky enough to have the recipe given to me from one of the boys who's been doing this for over 20 years, and to say it's a good barbel bait is an understatement. It's certainly proven to do the job. Like I said, I've been fishing up here now for only a couple of hours. I had a brace of doubles off the Y using my own hook baits that I've made in the shed. They've got a couple of feeding triggers, plenty of essential oils in there as well. Not too much so it's not overpowering, but enough obviously to put out a good scent and to create a feeding response from the barbel. But yeah, the quality certainly proven their worth today and for the past couple of weeks. So yeah, super confident in them. I think that's what makes a difference. But yeah, certainly proving deadly at the river at the moment. Nine barbel now. A brace of doubles. I've had fish after fish, literally. I'm just going to make a move now before the light starts to drop, just so I can see what I'm doing. The river's quite high, path super close to the river. I don't want to be slipping in there in the dark with all my kit on my back, my waders on. Better be safe than sorry, so I'm going to call it a day now. Probably the worst time to leave because the light level's just about to change now and drop. But I've had a bag full of fish, and yeah, I'm going to finish off with this one. So cheers for watching, guys, and keep an eye out if I make anything else in the future. I'll post it online and hopefully get a couple of likes, and some of you might find interesting what I'm doing. But now, cheers, happy days, what a session.